In this short video, I'll be kind of covering answers to a common question that I get a lot, which is I'm not getting a ton of conversions in my Google Ads account. What should I do next? I've created a search campaign. I'm tracking conversions properly. I'm showing up for the right searches. You've done all the basic things. What are kind of the next steps to drive some conversions to your account? So, first thing that I recommend is creating a small demand gen retargeting campaign. We have an example of it right here, and throwing it in max clicks. You can do as little as $5 a day. I typically recommend $10 a day, but you can get cost per clicks of as low as like 10 cents. This one right here has $1.65, but typically what I see are cost per clicks extremely low. You can typically get them from 10 cents to $1 or 10 cents to 25 cents. And what I recommend here is essentially leaving this in max clicks and driving high volume back to your website, both from retargeting website visitors and doing a lookalike retargeting. It's not necessarily retargeting when it's a lookalike audience, but you can try to get in front of users that use Google very similarly to people who have already visited your website and get super cheap clicks, as opposed to when in search you're typically spending much higher cost per click because you're going after really high intent searches. Whereas with display, you're getting in front of a ton of people really cheaply. So that's one of my first recommendations. Another recommendation that I have, especially for lead gen businesses, so this video is specifically dedicated to lead gen, is setting up a lead form asset. And my face is blocking it, sorry. But essentially going to assets and adding a lead form asset that allows people to autofill information with information that Google already has on file to really reduce the barrier to entry, to basically allow your potential leads to actually give you their information and become leads. So that's another thing that I recommend setting up. My third suggestion is one of the more controversial takes, is that I recommend going to broad match and switching to maximize conversions. So this is one thing that is a difficult thing to do because of the bad stigma that broad match has attached to it. And for good reason. Broad match has been terrible for years. However, Google has made some really good upgrades to the AI optimization side of things in order to better find users of Google who are more likely to convert for your product. And so broad match is one of those that, while you do need to monitor it very closely because you will show up for pretty much anybody searching anything, once you nail down your negative keywords and prevent Google from showing to just literally anybody and get it really dialed down to where it can be very flexible as to who it shows to, you will often see that it's able to find conversions from people that typically you wouldn't have thought to go after. That's one of the things where like 20% of all Google searches every day are brand new and have never been searched before, and broad match kind of allows you the flexibility to get in front of searches that you would have never considered getting in front of before. It is very important that you have a very good data feedback loop, that you are not feeding Google crap conversions, but plenty of other videos to watch on how to make sure your conversion tracking is set up properly. Another thing I often see is keywords that are essentially cannibalizing 90% of the search volume. And so what I mean by this, I'll show you here, is in this account, this is not necessarily a super great example because we have filtered down the type of keywords that we want to go after. But a lot of times you would see the majority of the cost, which actually in this case, we are seeing the majority of the cost with this keyword. However, we've been running this campaign for a while and we know that this is our money keyword. It does really well for us. But a lot of times what you'll see is that one or two keywords are eating up 90% of your spend, and a dozen other keywords have gotten maybe 12 impressions. And so what I'd recommend is, if you're not seeing conversions come through from the keywords that you have spending most of your money right now, pause those and allow the other keywords a chance to breathe, to give them a shot at driving conversions for your business. My last suggestion is also very simple, kind of goes with my logic behind doing a broad match campaign, is doing a performance max campaign, which is kind of similar in the sense that they both use kind of broad match types in order to find potential leads. However, some people prefer to run the broad match search campaign, while others prefer Performance Max because Google has put a lot of money into developing its optimization model. However, it's kind of up to you what you think is going to work best for your business. And so that's why I recommend Performance Max, because Google has spent a lot of time and money developing the algorithm in order for it to find high quality conversions for you. However, once again, you got to make sure you feed it really good data. Obviously, this is not a all-encompassing list of everything that you can do in order to improve conversions or lower your cost per conversion in a Google Ads account. Just kind of a short 5-minute overview of best ways to try to see more conversions in your account. Really hope this video helps. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly. I try to respond to every comment, and I've also got some tools down in the description. I'll see you in the next video.